Would you rather have your eyes be spotlights when it's dark or be blind from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
I'd rather be blind, because then, like, I have a reason to go to bed and not hang out.
That's crazy.
That's my opinion.
So you think being blind would help with your self-discipline, perhaps?
I mean, probably. Like, if I'm just going to be blind and not see anything, I might as well just close my eyes and go to sleep.
Right,
Probably the best way to get me to go to bed.
That's funny. I might do the spotlights. Well, here's the question. Would the spotlights, it'd be like I'm looking in the spotlights, or would I just be able to see in the dark and then it'd be bright for everyone else?
No. Like, it's like car headlights for like your eyes transform into car headlights whenever it's dark.
So I can see in the dark?
So it's like you have flashlights.
Just like right here.
Like, and so, yeah, you can see, but you also have, like, flashlights for eyes.
Yeah, I'd probably still do that. I don't know,
I think that's what I'm doing. I don't think being blind is, like, ideal. But, not that it's, like, bad. Like, obviously it's fine.
Oh, it's probably bad. Most of my decisions on these would you rathers are bad.
But I think that, I don't know, I just think the headlights thing would be kind of cool. Unless you're trying to watch a movie.
that would be
just classy, you know.
That's where, watching a movie would be tough.
Never watch a movie after dark.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
That'd be so sad.
Imagine driving a car, though. Like, you have your car lights and
there's
these two more just, like, shooting.
But I have a roommate, though, and so I, like, sometimes it's kind of, I'm, like, fumbling around in the dark. I would have to be a little careful about where I looked and not, like, look at him while he's sleeping. But I would never have to, like, worry about, like, fumbling around in the dark.
No,
I would just,
yeah,
like, squint,
so
and then I would just, like...
I would say seeing in the dark would be one that was, like, a superpower that I would want. So, yeah, I think eyes for spotlights.
I think I'm doing the headlights for eyes, yeah.
Huh. Now you talk about it, I'm, like, slightly getting more convinced of it, but I think I'm still going to go with blind.
Your thing is just you've had lots of late nights lately, is my guess. So you just want more sleep.
Yeah, I would either like to never be able to sleep or just be able to sleep.
Oh, like always?
Currently. Not always.
Oh, just like a normal
amount.
amount.
If it was just like, oh, it's like 8:30, I must be asleep now. Just, I don't know.
What if you get like, what if you're like driving because you're like, oh no, it's almost 8, I gotta get home, and then boom, the lights go out.
That is a good point. I mean, I almost do that now anyways, so that's a problem.
Alright, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that one. I'll just have to have a chauffeur. That's like we talked about. I just need a chauffeur. Always.
Hey, you got be rich.
That. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's the superpower I want, is just rich.
Just rich, just lots of money.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sam's Midnight Ramblings. This week, we have a special guest. His name is Ethan. And
Hello.
He is related to me.
Woo!
You may also remember him from the Brazilian Ramblings episode, don't know the number.
I feel like that's the one everyone's on. They always talk about that, like, I'm on the Brazil one.
A lot of people are stuck on that one.
It's hard to get through.
No, it was great. I loved it. It was a good time.
So welcome back.
Good to be here with Sam and Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Couple additional things to know about Ethan is that he's currently blonde/platinum for his hair color.
Yeah.
If we're getting technical. He's a killer Sudoku player.
Ooh.
And he's a big Lord of the Rings nerd.
Ooh.
I would like to address these. So I did bleach my hair. But it's because I buzzed my head recently because I got a really bad haircut and I'd never bleached my hair before, so I figured that
if it's bad, might as well go all in.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? My head's buzzed. I might as well bleach it. The downside of that is I am getting married in 2 months.
No.
That is the
what?
That is the dangerous part of that.
Oh my gosh.
It was a bold move.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So that's that.
Wait, was it bleached when you asked her? When you proposed?
No, so
Okay.
so I got engaged in October
Oh, okay.
a while ago. That's a whole different story. We can get into another time. But I got engaged end of October, and then we were taking our engagements like a few weeks ago, and my hair was getting kind of long, and I was like, I don't really like my hair. Like it probably would have been fine, but I was like, I don't really like it. I would rather get a haircut.
Yeah.
So I went to the place that I always go, which I won't mention here. But I went to the place that I always go, and I've been going there for pretty much since I've lived in Provo, and they're really cheap haircuts. They're normally pretty good, and I got the worst haircut that I've ever gotten there, and it was bad. It was a bad haircut, and the thing is, like from certain angles, it maybe would have been fine, but from certain angles, it would have been the worst thing you've ever seen.
Oh,
so
that's so unfortunate.
So I was like, you know what? I've buzzed my head before.
That you got? Like, what did you tell them?
I told them this pretty much the same thing I always tell them. I showed them the same picture that I showed them last. So I normally show them a picture because I'm like, this is what I want because I figure that's more
so
reliable. And I showed them the one that I showed them last time, and I liked my haircut last time, and something completely different happened. So it was supposed to just be like a regular like fade, like start with like a 1 or 2 at the bottom and fade it up. It's kind of shorter on top, whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out that way. And so I was like, you know what? I have my engagement pictures tomorrow, and it would be better if I buzzed my head than had this haircut. And the thing is, I don't like want to brag or be cocky or anything. I buzzed my head before, and it's not a bad buzz cut.
Dude, it's a danger. You gotta know whether or not.
Yeah.
It's good or
So
not.
I buzzed it before. So I was like, it's gonna like my it's fine. And I already like kind of had a fade going on, so it's like it'll be like just a really short fade.
Okay.
Anyway, and then we took engagements, and then that night I was like, you know what? Let's just bleach it. So I bleached my hair. What was the second fact that you brought up, Sam?
Your killer Sudoku.
Oh yeah, I do play Killer Sudoku. That speaks for itself. Big Lord of the Rings nerd. This is a recent thing, actually.
Oh.
So what happened is I watched the entire Rings of Power series on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. It's great. Shout out Amazon Prime. Sponsored this podcast. And I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And I've never read I've read The Hobbit like twice, but I've never read The Lord of the Rings for some reason. And so actually that's not true. In 4th grade I read The Fellowship of the Ring, and because I was in 4th grade, I thought it was the most boring book ever.
Fair.
I also read the the whole Lord of the Rings series in 4th grade.
Wow, you guys
Don't remember anything.
Just for context, Sam set the record for AR points at our elementary school. So
Did
You know
I?
what? I would believe that. 100%
I'm pretty
believe
sure.
that.
I thought you did. Sam was a celebrity for it. One time in like 1st grade, I was in the bathroom and I was just at the urinal minding my own business, and like a 2nd or 3rd grader comes in and was like, "Are you Sam, brother? He's so smart. You look just like him." And I was just trying to go to the bathroom. So
Man, I didn't know I already had a celebrity on this.
Harwood Elementary. They all know Sam Clark. So
Big.
yeah, so I read it in 4th grade, and because I was not at the same AR reading level as Sam, I thought it was boring. And I think I might have started the second one, and there was just too much singing in it, and so I just couldn't get past it. Anyway, and so recently I decided I got to get back into it. I'm now currently like somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of the way through The Return of the King. So
dang.
I'm close to being finished after this. So if you guys don't know about thrift books, another shout out to the sponsors if you want. You can get books for like $4 or $5. Super awesome place. I mean, they're used, but it's great. So I bought the Silmarillion, which is like the prequel to all of it.
The deep one.
And so after I finished The Lord of the Rings, I haven't watched the movies either, which maybe there might be some hate in the comments about that one. But
there's some hate in the chair.
Yeah. Haven't seen any of the movies. So my plan is to finish The Lord of the Rings, watch all the movies, then read the Silmarillion. And then I'll be all caught up and ready for Rings of Power
Have you seen
season
the
3.
Hobbit movies?
I've seen all the Hobbit movies. I've seen well, okay, except for like the new like animated thing they came out with.
Oh yeah. I
Like
haven't seen that.
it's like about the Riders of Rohan or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but other than that, I've seen everything to do with Lord of the Rings except for Lord of the Rings. Like I've seen like Rings of Power, I've seen The Hobbit, I've seen like the VeggieTales Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
Like I just have not watched Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
So
Man.
so
glad you
I
saved
am
the best for last.
You should do
Yeah.
the extended editions.
That's what I've
But
heard.
be prepared to be there for like 3 hours and maybe to get a little bored.
Yeah, well, I've heard, the
They're
extended
a little slow
edition,
sometimes.
I would like to do a Lord of the Rings marathon, but I've
I
heard
know,
that I'll
it's
be
so
there for like
bad.
12 hours if I do all the
It's
extended
so
editions
hard.
too. So
Bachelor
See,
party.
I have
my bachelor party. That'd be fun. Unless I hate it. Unless I end up not liking the movies for some reason, which
That would be so depressing.
don't get mad at me,
for you.
Sam. But unless I end up hating the movies, but I doubt I will because the books are great. The
I
books are
mean,
great.
I have a controversial take on it. I actually prefer the theatrical than the actual extended ones.
The theatrical.
Oh,
just
like the normal cut, like
Original
the.
one? Yeah.
Oh, I
You
was
know
like,
why?
they do Lord of the Rings on stage.
Honestly, they should.
Yeah, like I had no idea.
Lord of the Rings, the musical.
Hey,
That's kind of what the Veggie Tales is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. That
It's
is
called
really
Lord of the
watch.
Beans.
I'm looking at that right now.
And instead of Legolas, it's Leg of Lamb.
Didn't we watch that on like Thanksgiving one year?
We might have. Instead of orcs, they have sporks. Obviously, the Rings of Bean. I'm trying to remember the other.
Oh my. gosh.
Aragorn is Ear of Corn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Dude, it actually has a pretty good rating.
Don't they have a Keebler
Lord of the
elf?
Beans has a good rating.
Yeah, it's got like an 8-point rating.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't they have Keebler elves in there too?
They probably do. Yeah, that probably is what it is instead of the elves.
That is so fun.
So anyway,
Man,
yeah. So I'm becoming a Lord of the Rings nerd. I really. Yeah, I feel like sometimes the plot is doing a lot, sometimes it's not, but either way, I just think, I think the conflict going on is really interesting. I think, the world is really cool, so come to me with all your Lord of the Rings questions in 4 to 6 months.
After the bachelor party.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
All right. Anything else you need to tell the audience?
I think those are the main things for now, yeah.
I think it was a pretty good introduction, honestly.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
Yeah, about Lord of the Rings too.
I
Hopefully,
did.
yeah.
I have a new movie to watch.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Should I ask? Do you want to go?
You can go.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I did not realize this, but what got you interested in HR?
In HR. Oh yeah. So for you listeners out there who don't know me,
And me.
which is everyone except probably my direct family. I'm studying HR management at Brigham Young University. Go Cougs. And yeah, so what got me into HR was my sophomore year of college. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do because junior year is when you're supposed to know, And it was funny because my freshman year, everyone was like, "Hey, what are you studying?" And I was like, "I don't know, I'm still figuring it out." And they'd go, "Dude, you got plenty of time, no worries." But then the second semester of my sophomore year, they were like, "Ooh, dude, you probably better figure that out." And I was like, "All right, I know. I'm working on it." So I was looking at a few different things. I was looking at a lot of the stuff in the communications school. Another fun fact about me, I wasn't trying to get into STEM or anything like that. I took a calculus. Well, I almost took a calculus class my first semester back because I was I took it in high school. I'm good. I know all this stuff. And the first week was a review of algebra and trigonometry, and there was a test that you had to pass in order to access the homework for the rest of the semester. And I got onto that test. It was I want to say it was 30 questions long, but I might be making that up. I got onto that test, and the first question I was all right, I don't know this one. I'll just skip it, come back to it later. Second question, same thing. Third question, same thing. About in the fifth or sixth question, I turned off the test and I withdrew from the class. and so I wasn't trying to do anything in STEM. I wasn't trying to do engineering or biology. I'm not trying to do pre-med or anything like that. So what I was looking at is stuff in the communication school. I was looking at doing PR, or I thought advertising would be really cool. And I'd taken a lot of business classes as well because I don't know. That's just kind of where I thought I was going to go. My mom studied marketing. My dad studied accounting. None of my other I guess my older sister did accounting as well, but
Oh, that's true.
Seth and Sam didn't do business, but for some reason business is what I should do. So that's where most of my classes were. So I had I think I had 2 classes left to get a business minor. So I was I'll do something in the communications school and then I'll get my business minor. And so one of the classes that I was taking for my business minor was an organizational effectiveness class. And it was cool. I really liked it, and I thought it was interesting stuff. And so I talked to my professor. I was like, "Hey, this is pretty cool. What, like, if I wanted to do this, what would I study?" And they don't have like an organizational effectiveness or organizational design major at BYU. It's but in the HR program there are lots of classes that deal with that. And that's generally in like the HR business unit in an organization. So that's why I decided to study HR. And then I mean, it's been good. It's pretty cool because it's one of those majors that you're like, oh, I'm studying HR, and everyone goes like, oh, I didn't even know that was a major, like at BYU. Or like I've had people be like, I don't really think you need like a degree for that. Like I don't.
HR is insane.
And it's true. It is. There's just a lot that you can do with HR. So you don't necessarily need a degree to do HR if you work at an organization that has a terrible HR org.
Very true.
But if you're going to like a big corporation or something like that, there is a lot that's involved. So hopefully I have a job after I graduate, and hopefully it's a rotational program, so I get to try out a bunch of roles. The roles that I would like to dabble in is they have it's kind of newer in HR, but they have like in-house leadership consulting. So I'd like work with leaders to help them make their org more effective.
That's cool.
I would like, there's like data analytics or compensation analytics. I think that'd be cool. That's like a good skill to have. And then like organizational design, organizational behavior, there you have that as well, which is what originally got me into it. So those are kind of the areas I'm interested in with HR. So so that's what got me into it, was that one class.
So much today.
If you're at BYU, HRM 390, it's great. From Isaac Smith.
It'll convince you.
Unfortunately, I think most of our viewers are diehard Aggies.
Go Cougs.
And already graduated from school.
That's also true.
Hey, if you are a diehard Aggie fan, you should know that it was, like when I was choosing where to go to school, it was between BYU and Utah State. And the reason I ended up going to BYU is because when COVID happened, I got sent home for my mission for like 3 months, and BYU has spring term, which is 6 weeks long. And so I could do that. And so that's actually why I went to BYU. And I'm like, so no hate against the Aggies, but go Cougs.
It's really funny because Laura did the opposite. She went down, she did a year at BYU, and then COVID hit, and she was like, nope, I'm going to USC.
I'm going to Utah State. Hey, COVID affected everyone differently.
So that's so funny. Oh, man.
Are there any stereotypes about people who work in HR?
Yeah.
And are they true? And what are they?
That's a great question. So I will say the big things are everyone hates the HR rep at their company.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember who it was. I think I went home and it was someone in our ward. I told them I was studying HR, and they're like, "Ooh, you sure? Maybe you should do accounting, actually." I was like, "Okay." Nobody likes HR because part of HR is like making sure people are compliant with organizational standards. And so people don't really like that because people tend to fight against authority. And so when they're like, "Hey, we want to do this," and you're like, "Ooh, that's actually against company policy," they don't like that. The other thing is HR. This shouldn't be the case. This is when HR is not happening like effectively at a company, but HR is often ends up being the people firing. And so people don't like that either. So really, they're kind of just seen as like the guys that don't do anything at the company but just get everyone in trouble. And I would say that is actually true. Again, that's true in certain organizations. HR looks very like if you're at a small company, HR is very different than if you're like at like a huge company. So in a big company, I would say no. Like my goal would probably be to like not ever have any of those things be in my main job description. But if you're like at a company where the HR department is you or like two people, then you'll probably end up doing that, and people won't like you. So that I would say is a stereotype. What was the other question?
Are they true?
Oh, are they true? So kind of, they're kind of true. So, but hopefully not for me.
Yeah, totally not. Breaking stereotypes, we liked it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the other thing I would say is, HR is a pretty female-dominated field, and so I would say me being in it kind of breaks some of the stereotypes. That's there.
True.
So
that's
just
so
chew on that. So.
Dang. again, learning so much.
Yeah.
There's so
I
many
actually,
things.
the funny thing was, so my internship over the summer, I was in Austin, Texas.
Oh, dang.
Austin, Texas happens to be slightly more diverse than Logan, Utah, or Provo, Utah.
I would imagine.
And so I remember like the last day of the internship, whenever like, or maybe it was the second. Anyway, it was like the last week of the internship we were talking, and I actually was told, but it was another one of the interns, but I actually was told that if I got hired, I would be a diversity hire, because like straight white males are like, that's pretty much everyone there that was a straight white male was from BYU. And, like, if you weren't from BYU, you are probably like a minority or a woman or gay or like something. Like,
oh my gosh.
and so yeah, so
First time ever.
I'm hoping this helps me be a more empathetic person, you know. So yeah.
That is awesome. Dang. I never thought of it from that perspective, but yeah, I rarely do I meet HR people that are just straight white dudes.
Yeah, no, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know where all guys are probably in finance or something. I don't know, but yeah. So at my internship, I think there were 20 interns. And like over half of them were girls, and then of the full time like employees, most of them were women. So.
Dang.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have an interaction with HR, but like in hiring, most of like the HR talent acquisitions are women. I'm trying to think. I worked at an internship where it was at a plant, so they just had like a plant HR person. They didn't really have an HR department, and there was a white guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
interesting.
anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about HR.
The world of HR.
It's wonderful.
We're gonna have you back on when you get your job. We're gonna learn all the dirty stuff.
Yes, learn all. Yes.
Okay, if you could have an infinite amount of one clothing item, what would it be?
Like shoes or like pants, or is this like a specific?
I think very specific.
Like
One item for infinite amount of it.
an amount of one item.
I'll make a stipulation. If you say socks, I'll allow it to be a pair of socks, not just
I
one.
have an infinite supply of right socks. Okay. Oh, that's. Do contacts count as a clothing item?
Ooh.
Because you wear them, but I feel like they're not. I'm not gonna count it. I'm not gonna count
I
it.
wouldn't count
I just
this
forget my contacts on lots of
I
trips,
don't
and so
know,
I end
wear
up.
glasses is like a clothing item, kind of.
Maybe
They're
no.
an
I don't want to
accessory.
emphasize. That's
I
true.
don't know.
I'm gonna steer away from that.
Okay, that's fair.
I'd say maybe glasses, but contacts.
Glasses, I
maybe,
think,
but
are
you can't see
borderline.
them.
I'm not choosing glasses though. I don't
That's
think.
lame.
I think I could live on one pair of glasses forever, probably.
Yeah.
So an infinite amount of one clothing item. So is like pants too generic, or do I need to be like
No, you can-
Levi
I think you
like
do
jeans?
pants. Yeah.
Okay, maybe pants.
Okay.
Maybe you don't ever want to be without pants.
That is true.
Or maybe shoes, because shoes I feel like are the most expensive.
That's a good
So
point.
you'd be saving the most money if you went with an infinite supply of
And then you should
shoes.
just not care about your shoes too.
And you would always
Yeah.
get like make sure
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
they'd work for your feet.
That's
Like you
also
never
true.
have to like, oh, I gotta go buy. They have
That's
to
true.
They have a new model.
That's true. And I will say, my favorite brand of shoes is Dr. Martin.
Oh.
And those are not cheap shoes,
No.
generally. That's a tough one. I don't know if you know this about me, but I do like clothes quite a bit. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go shirts actually on this one, and here's why:
Ooh.
is because I feel like. Okay, I feel like the way to build an outfit is you have like mostly like basics, like you have like pants, shoes that are basics, and then you have like one like more statement-y item, if anything.
I feel that, yeah.
And so I feel like I'm not going with like statement pants very often. Like,
It's true.
like some people do. Like my fiance Julia, shout out to her. She is a statement pants person.
You know,
Like
what's a
she'll wear like. So like
They're
she'll
like-
wear just like a plain like t-shirt, like she'll have like a white or like gray or black t-shirt or something, and like purple pants
Yeah.
or like
Okay.
yellow pants, and I'm not really doing that. And so I would say shirts, because those are the ones that like generally I feel like I need more of a variety of. Whereas like pants, I can make do on 3 pairs of pants.
Yeah.
Or like I can make do with like 1 or 2 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
So I am probably gonna go with shirts. That's what I'm gonna go with.
That's fair.
That's a good
I like the
one.
reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good call.
What about you guys?
Ooh, I'm never ready for the throwback.
Not thought about this at all.
I.
See, I feel like I'm with Sam Clark here, my brother.
Whoa, I don't think the audience was my last name.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, that was a
that
fake
out.
last name, everybody. I feel like he's going pants because I feel like he is more. I feel like you're really into free T-shirts.
Free T-shirts?
Like you love if a T-shirt is for free, you love it. Is that true? Am I making that up?
I like free stuff. So
Well, the thing is, people aren't giving out free pants, and I feel like you're more of a
one's giving
statement
out free
pant guy than a
Oh,
statement
really?
shirt guy. Yeah,
I would kind of agree with that, honestly.
maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
It's
feel like
probably because you just layer a lot, and the pants are like the only thing that like stay as like the main.
Yeah, I guess you're just wearing jeans right now, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know what you should do is you should do slippers. Sam's sitting here in his slippers and he's got his toes sticking out.
Dude, imagine that. Infinite slippers.
I just need one pair of
Always
slippers,
comfy.
though.
That'd be crazy.
Ooh.
Wow, I don't even say, like,
I'm trying.
have maybe like 1 or 2
Or
pairs
shorts.
of
You told me
statements.
yesterday you're a shorts guy, so I could see you going with shorts specifically.
Yeah, wow, this is hard. Can I just do
Dude, really
infinite
self.
Do an
amount of
entire
outfits?
closet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing. Shirts, I'm with Ethan here that I need more variety in my shirts. Like, currently right now, I have a lot of, like, shirts that I'm like, I'm kind of tired of this.
Yeah.
And also, I get a lot of my shirts from DI, which is one of the best places. I love thrifting shirts.
You thrift pants?
No.
Because here's the thing.
Hard.
This is no hate, by the way, but I feel like you wear tighter pants than I do, and I feel like that's always my problem thrifting pants is they're always too tight.
Here's the thing with pants. I feel like shirts are pretty easy. Like, try them on, they're gonna fit.
Oh, but you're
So
not ever
you
sure
know-
if the pants are gonna
But
fit.
pants, I feel like no even if like you have like the same sizing, it's hard to like. I feel like they fit differently.
That's true.
And it's just a lot of work to like search through DI and find pants, especially like shirts. Like, I can see it and I'm like, oh, I want that. Pants, it's like I have to like they all look the same, so I'm gonna have to like dig it out, look at the price. I don't know.
Well, I was told if you put the waist like around your neck, that's supposed to tell you what your waist size, like if the waist fits. And I know that because I was like holding pants up to my leg to see about the length, and the guy was
Yeah.
like, no, you put them around your neck for the waist, and I was like,
Sure you
I'm
were
not doing that,
holding
but
your
okay.
leg?
What the heck?
And so
You should go
anyway,
get a pair of pants and try it out.
so yeah, put it around your neck. That's the way to figure it out.
Huh.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like you're a pants guy.
I think you're.
Like I feel like you're getting. Like you said, you shop at DI
I
for
have
shirts.
a variety of pants. I would say I have a more variety of pants than like a lot of people, but
I just feel like thrifting shirts is easier because that's how I get a lot of my shirts too, and I feel like thrifting is much easier.
Oh, so for this it'd be just easy to have an infinite amount of.
It'd be for you. I just feel like pants are more practical for you. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Over here.
Like so much. Here's the thing with
His head is
shoes also.
spinning.
Like having a bunch of different shoes would also be nice.
That would be
like
nice.
so that I'm not stuck with the same like pair. Like I have a couple pairs like I wear
That's
on a
true.
normal
Yeah.
basis.
Well, but you
Like,
can still buy
running
new shoes. You're not
Having
stuck
like an
with
infinite
the.
amount of running shoes, never have to
That would be
like go
kinda
buy.
I guess you do run a lot, and you play soccer, so you need cleats.
Cleats.
You
and,
have to be
like,
breaking in shoes all the time. That would kind of suck.
I feel like
Yeah.
shoes these days don't like. I don't know. Maybe running shoes are different, but I feel like with
kinda
basketball
strong
shoes and
ones are
stuff,
good.
you don't really need
Basketball
to break
shoes
them
are
in.
really good
Like you
with
used to have to
that.
break them in a lot, but not much anymore.
No.
Well, I have no idea.
Sam, you have to decide right now, or
Yeah,
the
life or
universe will
death.
explode.
Yes. One item.
Or you could just be like, hey, I'm gonna have like an infinite amount of like bags, like tote bags or something.
I don't need an infinite amount of tote bags.
Hats. You could go hats.
You
You're
could
real
go
hats.
hats.
I
I
could
could
do
see.
hats.
I could see you becoming a real big beanie guy. I feel like you already kind of are in the winter.
Honestly, yeah.
Do you not wear beanies in the winter?
I do sometimes. If it's cold outside, I have to walk across campus.
Or scarves. I could see, like, you like scarves, right?
You could
Yeah.
pull a scarf.
But you really only need 1 or 2 scarves.
Yeah. Actually, jackets.
Oh, that's a good. Here's the problem. I buy too many coats.
Or like sweatshirts or like sweaters.
Yeah. I don't know, but you're only going to use it for like half a year.
That's true. Wow.
But in the summer, it's like shorts and a t-shirt. So you're wearing like that's like in the summer you're not like
You're going to be in your pants as much. This is a hard one. That's why I'm doing socks.
doing socks.
Dude, putting on a new fresh pair of socks every single day sounds amazing.
Also, additionally, you will never have to fold your socks.
Yeah, I'm done with them. They're gone.
That's the worst part of doing laundry. I stopped doing that recently. I just have loose socks in my drawer because I was like, this is way more efficient. But then it's really hard to find socks sometimes.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So I think I'm going to go back to folding. But you wouldn't have to fold them if
I
you
wouldn't.
hadn't.
I would literally put it on, have it feel amazing, and then throw it away. Every single time. It'd be so nice. I would love it.
I still think I'm gonna go with shirts.
Or maybe like hoodies or something would be good. You're going with shirts still?
Yeah, I feel like that's the most like.
How does this work with your infinite supply? Is it like you just imagine a shirt and you open your closet and it's in there?
That's a good point. Or you just have like a warehouse full of shirts.
Oh, that could be cool.
Like,
do I have to store the infinite amount of shirts?
No.
I'm going with the probably just like a Piers. Just like, whoop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't want to deal with.
And
the
is
logistics
socks
of that.
your final answer?
Oh yeah.
So socks, shirt, and shirt. I forgot about coats and jackets though. I do
Yeah,
buy a lot
it
of
would
coats.
be really nice.
But here's the thing: is I don't need. I have a lot, but I probably wear like 5 of them on a regular basis. And I had to buy a new like clothing rack for my coats because I can't store
Oh
them.
my god.
It's actually pretty cool, and now I just have a clothing rack, so
That's true. They're kind of nice to just have around.
it's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in my basement.
I could use
so.
one right now.
That's funny. I'm still surprised that you think I'm a statement pants person.
Maybe it's because you wear skinny pants.
I don't know if it's a statement pants, but it seems like
I think the only one I can think of is like my plaid dress pants.
Well, the thing is, like, you even admitted like you're spending more money on pants than on shirts, so maybe that's where I just am going
I
on
don't
vibes,
spend that
not
much
your
money on
pants.
pants though.
But you're buying your shirts for like $5 at DI.
Yeah, but I'm buying more shirts than like pants. Like the
Oh,
last
okay.
pair of
Oh, I
pants
see
I
what you're
bought
saying.
was in December,
But when you're buying pants,
and
you're
I
like,
literally
specifically
bought that
these
because
they're good.
I was going to be. I needed white pants.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is
was
that
just
for-
basically
is that
at
for the angel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you bought white pants?
Yeah.
Dude, you're a statement pants guy.
He is a statement
You're not wearing
pants
white pants unless you're an NSYNC
Except
or
here's the
you're a
thing, I don't
statement
think
pants
I've
guy.
worn those pants, except like on a Saturday when I'm not going
guy.
out.
Were they the torn ones?
Yeah, they're
That's
the ripped
probably
ones.
why.
Are they like ripped skinny jeans?
They're not as skinny as these, but
No.
they're
Still
ripped.
pretty tight.
Ripped jeans. Fairly tight ripped jeans that are white.
You really would be on a boy band if you
I-
as prime boy band.
Here's the thing: I
Yeah.
didn't realize they were going to be ripped until I got them, and it was at that point it was too
Did you
late.
order them?
What?
Did you order them online?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, how did you not know?
Well, here's the thing: I bought them from the same company these jeans from, and so I like thought I got
what company is that?
Hollister
Oh, Hollister
because
jeans.
they were
Okay.
like
Hollister's
cheap.
still
They were
in
like
business.
less than $30, which is really good for pants.
Less than 30?
Yeah.
That is good.
Dang.
That is good.
And so I was like, I'll get the exact same, like, I thought I got the exact same, like, type model of pants, same size and everything, just white, but the color was, like, ripped white or something. And then I was like, well, that's weird. But I was
I
like,
didn't
it's the
expect them to be
exact
ripped. It just
same.
said it in the
And
description.
then they came, and I was like, well, I guess that's what it means when it says ripped white.
Ripped
They're
white.
gonna be ripped.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Nice. All right.
yeah.
Hey, I respect it. I respect it. I respect
We'll
that.
let the listeners tell us if you're a statement pants guy or not.
Yeah.
And then
I've,
it's
mostly I'm
out
just
there.
going off vibes, but also you do
It's
have
true. I
white
feel-
ripped skinny jeans.
I agree with him. I 100% agree with him.
You're a statement pants vibes kind of guy.
Yeah. I don't think you
Interesting, 'cause I
buy
feel
them
like my
intentionally in statement pants.
shirts are, I like more statement shirts.
But I don't know if I've ever
Okay.
literally been like, that's a nice shirt. But I have been like, those are nice pants.
Oh, yes.
I guess I do. You have like the like colorful like button up shirts.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was thinking t-shirts. Which
I have a lot of free T-shirts.
Yeah. Which is probably where the free shirt that came in.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like our family is a free shirt family.
Yes.
Like Dad, the shirts that Dad wears
are all free.
He bought to like sponsor you in cross country, or are like from the accounting department at BYU Idaho, from
UVU's accounting department.
Yeah, from UVU's accounting department. Weirdly enough, like a company that came to like meet the first. Like I think he has like an EY shirt that he wears.
You know who's the biggest free shirt guy? Eliza.
Eliza is the free shirt queen. I think she only wears free shirts. I think she doesn't buy shirts.
Where are people finding these free shirts? I'm in the wrong crowd.
The thing is,
College?
I don't know. I'm not looking for free shirts because if I get a free shirt, I'm like, I'll probably sleep in this. Maybe I'll wear it to the gym.
That's true.
Maybe I'll wear it to the gym. I'm not a free shirt guy, so I'm not really sure.
That's fair.
Where they're getting them, but I got a free shirt from work recently. Actually,
Nice.
Yeah,
I like those.
never worn it.
Man, well, that was a rabbit hole I was not.
Yeah.
Learned a lot about Sam today.
Okay. This is less of a question, but more of just your thoughts. So last night, Ethan and I had a brothers' night where we made some very good pizza. Some of the best homemade pizza that I've ever made.
It was good pizza. It was meat lovers.
And stuffed crust, too.
And stuffed crust. So I think that was the first time I've ever had a stuffed crust, by the way.
Oh, stuffed crust is so good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
You
Anyway.
should try Hungry Howie's. Oh, it's so good. Sponsor.
Sponsor, please.
And then afterwards, we were going to watch Hook. Cause
whoa, throwback.
Yeah.
So Ethan had my name for Christmas, and part of his gift was this brothers' night. And so he bought the DVD of Hook, and my laptop has a DVD player that apparently doesn't work anymore. Anyways, but on the way up here to Logan, we were also talking about the recently released Ruby Frankie docuseries on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
And so we ended up watching that instead because it was free, and we had to pay some money to actually watch Hook on Amazon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and apparently Ethan has been was obsessed with it. We watched it, we kept talking about it, and then
I dreamed about it all night last
No.
night.
And then randomly this morning he's like, "So you're not just thinking about it?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Well, because here's the thing. I was thinking about it for like 8 hours as we were sleeping in my dreams.
So tell us about it. What enthralls you so much about it?
Well, first of all, I think it's local. So I think
Yeah.
that's like the bit. Like, I think if this had happened in like North Carolina, no hate on North Carolina. This is the first time. But I think if it had happened in North Carolina, I wouldn't really have cared as much. But I was like, this happened in like Springville, Utah. I live in Provo, which is like 10 minutes from Springville, and so I know people in Springville. Like, it's like really close to home, which is the reason I watched it, because this was like a pretty big deal. The other thing that really just like captured my attention is that this was like a slow build. Like, for those of you who don't know who Ruby Frankie was, she was like a family vlogger on YouTube for a while, and then she kind of got canceled for a while, and then anyway, and she got arrested for abusing her kids. It was a really sad situation. And what was crazy to me is that she didn't like it wasn't like she was a little so in college she had this chart on her wall.
I saw that clip.
Yeah, she had this chart on her wall with
in her closet
with like all the different guys she was going out with, and then she had like 20 or 30 different like qualities listed, and she was like marking which ones they filled. And so that's not like psycho behavior, but that's like a little over the top. Yeah, she was a little eccentric from the beginning, but she wasn't like a bad person from the beginning. Like, there was a point like in the documentary where it shows her like meeting this guy that like got baptized because of her vlog and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And they thought they were like doing really good things. She just kind of like got obsessed with it, and then things just like went a little too far. And that's what really I think captured my attention, was that this wasn't like, she wasn't like
an actual insane, just crazy.
Yeah,
person.
she wasn't like psycho. She wasn't like 6 years old and like doing crazy stuff. It was like she was a normal person, and then the vlog kind of just like took over. Because I don't know, kind of what the steps were is like she started the vlog, she kind of became obsessed with it, her family kind of got annoyed with that, and so she got a little more controlling with that, and then things just kind of snowballed from there.
It's a crazy story. I remember when it broke. Like, I remember watching the news and being like, whoa, this is crazy. So now there's a show, I want to watch it so bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It is like, I mean, yeah, it's a little intense.
Oh, wow.
Especially I think the last episode especially is pretty intense when they like, that's when they talk about like actually like finding the kids and stuff.
Dang.
And so it's pretty intense. Not for the faint of heart. Okay. If you're not into that kind of thing, don't watch. But it is really, really interesting to see that, like, I don't know, they did it. I felt like they didn't paint her as a monster at first. It was just kind of like Ruby Frankie is all of us, you know. Like Ruby Frankie is a big point they made was like she was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ, and she felt like her vlog was like helping to like spread like joy and peace and happiness and spread like the good word. And that's how it started. So Ruby Frankie could be any one of us is what really was the big takeaway. She was just a person that got carried away and manipulated a little bit by her therapist. Jeez. I don't remember what her name was, but Jody Hildebrand. Yeah, so that was a little crazy.
Dang. Yeah, it's a little crazier than the
Yeah, so it was a little bit different vibe than watching like Peter Pan return to come back to Neverland after he's an adult.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it was just crazy. And then like I said, we watched it and then went to bed pretty quickly thereafter. And
oh man,
I dreamed about it. I dreamed about it all night. I had a dream that there was another kid that was older or something like that, which seems really random and not relevant at all. But that's the only like detail I can remember. So yeah, it was crazy. What were your thoughts, Sam?
I thought it was crazy. I don't know if I found it as profound as you did.
Dude, I don't know how you just shut that off, like that out of your brain right after you watch that. That was like, that made me think a lot. The other thing that was pretty crazy.
Sam's just like,
I mean, I thought a little bit like, about like the dad and how like
the dad
he went along with it, which was just crazy. Like
I think the dad is Ruby Frankie is out, like, excluding the people that are in prison.
Yeah.
The dad is kind of in the worst spot because the kids like makes sense that you were manipulated. The dad, it's like he kind of let it happen, and now looking back, he can see like how poor his decisions were.
So it's made me think about like how I don't know, because like I think a lot of it was like he wanted the validation. And he was kind of a people pleaser.
Yeah, he mentioned when he like married Ruby, he was really insecure, and so he was just kind of did what she wanted to keep her.
So like I've thought about that and how like I think I have not like that I'm gonna be a pushover, but I have like people pleaser qualities, and like I want to like make people happy. I don't know, like not that I'm like going out of my way, but. I don't know. I could see myself.
We could all be Kevin,
I could see myself doing that. Like even in like past relationships, like things that like I didn't like. He wasn't really into the vlog at first, until like it actually started getting money, and so like I could see. I've seen like in like past relationships myself, like me like doing things that like I'm not super comfortable with, but I'm doing it because it makes the other person like happy, and I want to like have a good relationship, and so it made me think of like okay, I have some of these qualities, but like, how do I'm not going to be like a Kevin, which I don't think I am.
That's good.
Like, I feel like there's enough warning signs that like, right now I'd be like, what, this is...
His story is really sad.
Not good. But, so I mean, I thought a little bit about that, but I didn't think I feel like I didn't think about it as deeply as you.
Dude, the other thing that was crazy is, so we don't have a good enough subscription to not get ads to watch it. And there was like, I feel like most TV shows you're watching and there's like a pause and then it cuts to an ad. there was absolutely no pause.
Oh,
and so every
gosh.
time it would take me like 2 seconds to be like, what's happening in the documentary now? And then I'm like, oh.
Like one was even like people in like a mugshot, right? Or just like interviews of people.
Oh yeah,
like,
it was just like
single
interviews, so it was
views
just
of
like a
people.
headshot.
So
of
it was
the
like
people.
kind of fit.
And so I was like,
wait,
who
what
is
is
this
happening?
random guy they're just talking to now? That one was the hardest to figure out.
Oh,
Or be like some like
gosh.
brand logo pops up, and I'm like, oh, why are they sponsored by like Target? Like, what's, like, and then I just realized it's an ad, and so that
That's
was pretty
so
crazy.
funny.
But yeah, I don't know that especially
Dang.
dreaming about it all night got me thinking about it a lot. I can't. You just shut it off immediately. It's like movie's over, done.
It's over, done.
Yeah,
Don't
I
care
guess
anymore. Bye.
We're desensitized or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh man. Okay.
but I don't know. I like if you're kind of interested, it's worth a watch. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll let you take a look at it sometime.
I mean, obviously the themes are pretty adult, but I felt like it was
Yeah, I
pretty
was
like
thinking
other
so.
than that, I felt like it was pretty good.
Good. Cool. Need one like
Hulu
those.
sponsor us.
Hulu.
Hulu has live sports.
Actually, I don't know if I want Hulu sponsor. I don't want to know if I want to be sponsored by Hulu. I feel like most of their shows are sketchy.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Dude, like there was an ad for a Hulu show that popped up, and it was just the most intense advertisement you've ever seen. And Sam just goes, "That's Hulu."
You know, like they have like some like good like family movies or that like they put on and some like TV shows, but I feel like
the
a
majority.
lot of their
real-
original stuff is just
Yeah.
like creepy,
It's like super dark,
dark
or
vibes.
they just have like kind of weird documentaries, like the Ruby Frankie thing.
Yes.
Or they have like the TikTokers from
The
like
secret
Drake or
lives
whatever.
of
Yeah.
wives or whatever. Yeah.
I think for the longest time I felt like Hulu was like a bad thing just because of like the vibe I got from it.
I mean, it's fair.
So
That's
well,
And they do have the dark like theme for their colors.
yeah.
It's like black and green. So.
oh true. Very spooky. Oh man. With a big March and with you being a Cougs fan,
There you go, Cougs.
what do you think the BYU's chances this year are?
Hey, we're going to the national championship. We're going all the way. We're winning everything.
Spoken like a true fan.
Oh yeah.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is I have, without really my choosing, I have been a BYU fan for a while.
Without your choosing, you were the biggest fan growing up.
And I didn't choose it.
Who chose it for you then?
I just can't help it. I just like BYU sports. And I've tried multiple times to not like BYU sports, and it just hasn't worked. And I think this is probably with any sports team. I don't think this is like unique to BYU.
Yeah.
But BYU every year will find some way to let you down. So
They'll win this
in
big
marketing-
game,
yeah,
and then the next
exactly.
time they'll lose to this like no-name team, and you're like,
In-
what?
In marketing, they teach you to underpromise and overdeliver,
Uh-huh.
and BYU is constantly overpromising. And I think it's possible they're doing it again. However, Kevin Young, as the new basketball coach of BYU, I think that he is changing the program a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And here's why I think it's different this year, is because never that I can remember has BYU started off really, really poorly and then like turned the season
Actually
around and like
gotten
actually
better.
developed.
That's a good point.
I don't think BYU, I mean, to be fair, I've only been alive for 24 years. So I can only remember like 3 BYU basketball coaches. But Dave Rose and Mark Pope were not like developing players. For example, I think Caleb Lohner, I don't know if you guys know who he is. His freshman year he came to BYU. He was like a great player. His sophomore year, there has never been a more like mid basketball player in the entire world, except for maybe Trevin Nell. But he was just super, like, he just didn't get any better. He might have gotten worse a little bit. Like, he just didn't get any better. And so just to see Kevin Young be able to, like, develop a team and develop players is really, really promising. And I think BYU's on a 7 or 8 game win streak right now.
They're doing really good right
So
now.
I think the Big 12 tournament will be really telling.
That's a good
The
one.
only problem is their first game is Iowa State, which they beat in double overtime.
Oh, really?
Barely
They have to
beat
play
them.
them again?
Yeah. Well, unless Iowa State loses the round before, which they probably won't because they're playing.
No, they're pretty good.
They're playing like UCF or something.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
So the most likely scenario is that they play Iowa State again, which we beat them in double overtime
Yeah.
and had
A 21
30
point-
turnovers.
A 20-point lead.
21
at one
point,
point.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
lost a
Second
21-point
half.
lead. We had 30 turnovers.
Yeah.
We did so many things wrong and still won that I think we have a good chance against Iowa State. I think if we beat Iowa State again, then I think I'm just going to fully hop on the bandwagon. The only problem is the next round we have to play Houston, which is they're number
like
1 in the
the-
conference, and they're ranked like 3rd, I think. I think they're 3rd. So that is like, I don't know. So that's not ideal because then we don't get to see as much in the Big 12 tournament unless we beat Houston. If we beat Houston,
Dude, that'd
we're
be crazy.
we're winning the national championship. I'm calling that
That'd
right
be
now.
so good.
But yeah, I think BYU is gonna finally win a game in the NCAA tournament. I
Because they
think
didn't last year, right?
no, we
No.
choked
like we keep going
against. I
getting
think it was
them.
like Duquesne or something
Yeah.
like that.
I'm telling you, they
By who? Like we don't know who they are. We've never seen them before, but they beat us, and so
Yeah.
we can't hate on them.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, I was so looking. There was a slim chance that BYU and USC were going to play in the first round
Oh,
for a little bit. It's after we've lost our last 2 games, we've gone down. But there was a moment, and I was like, if that happens, I'm going to that.
that would
game.
be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be
That would be
wild.
awesome.
It was
BYU,
so
BYU would
sick.
win easily. It wouldn't even be a close. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
But BYU, I think they have a good chance to go pretty far. I think they'll win. I think they'll win their first game.
Yeah.
I would like to see us at least in the Sweet 16. I think if we make it to the Sweet 16, it's a successful year. I think if we don't make it to the Sweet 16,
maybe if we get past the first round.
if we
it's
get
a
past
successful year.
if we get past the first round, I would say like
It's a good year.
I would say successful. I would say yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We had an acceptable year.
Yeah.
If we make it to the Sweet 16, I think that's
That's a
successful.
great year. Yeah.
Especially because next year we have AJ DeBonsa coming in, who
Yeah.
is the number 1 recruit in basketball right now, coming in for this next class.
So crazy.
And so, my hope of hopes is that Yegor Deming realizes that he is going to do better in the NBA if he stays at BYU one more year, and then we have
Oh.
Yegor and AJ together.
Dang.
And I think that would be awesome.
That would be nice. I think there's starting to be a little bit more pushback and people going straight to the NBA, which is nice.
Well, they have NIL now. Like
you're gonna
DeBonsa's
get
making
paid,
like
you're gonna get
$7
paid.
million a
Yeah.
year at BYU,
Just
and so.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But with that happening, there's less of a push. Like I need to just get to the league, and so
Yeah.
people are more willing to like take time to develop in college basketball.
Yeah.
In college the only problem is, I wish they would add NIL and take away the transfer portal,
I so wish that.
because then I think that would really help with development. Because I think
Oh, yeah.
from what I've heard, I'm no expert, but college football is having kind of like an issue with like players not like developing very well because
Yeah.
they're basically pro players and they can trade or they
Drop
can
it
move at any
everywhere.
time. And so I think if you take away the transfer portal, then there's less incentive to leave college early to go to the NBA. Because before it's like you're not getting paid anything, your family's living in poverty, like get to the league as soon as you can, get some
Yeah.
money and help them out.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like stay in college for a little bit.
Really
BYU
develop.
at least has like I don't know if it's like workshops or like advisors or what, but they're like helping them like learn how to like use their money responsibly.
Oh, wow.
So they have NBA trainers, they have a former NBA assistant coach, they have like their whole coaching staff and their whole like thing is basically like guys that work in the NBA.
Yeah.
And so there's less of an incentive for players to leave early if they're going to be like more successful if they like
Keep working.
if they wait, because if you're like, okay, I can leave this year, I can get drafted like 20th pick in the first round. It's like, well, you might make less than you're making in college. So if you stay in college another year and then maybe next year you're a
Bump
draft
up
pick,
it.
then you get a huge payday in the NBA.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all very complicated, but but yeah. So I'm hoping that Sweet 16 at least is where we get. I think we're hot right now. I think if we can make a decent run, at least win 1 or 2 games in the Big 12 tournament, we have a really good shot at going far and just carrying momentum into March Madness. Because that's all it is. It's all about momentum.
It really is.
Like was it a couple years ago? NC State made it really far. They started off really, or was it last year?
I think it was last year, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, they went super far.
Yeah.
They had BYU beat them at the start of the season. They had a really bad start to the season, and then they won like their last 10 games or something like
you
that.
Get on that kick,
and
he did you so far.
So I'm hoping that's what BYU's doing, and I think Kevin Young's a good coach. I think that he'll lock it.
That's good.
So
that's good.
Sweet 16, baby. All the way. National champions. BYU Cougars national champions.
That
BYU
would be the wildest thing.
I think BYU holds the record for the team that has been to the most number of NCAA tournaments and not won a national championship, or not. Maybe it's not been to the Final Four. Like there is no team that hasn't been to the Final Four that has gone to the tournament as many times.
Jeez.
So we're
just
world class
an average
chokers.
team.
I just always look back to, was it 2011 when they had Jimmer?
Yeah.
I just look back to that. If Brandon Davies had been playing, was it like I think UConn won that year with like Kemba Walker or something like that. So if Brandon Davies is in, we probably win it all. We probably win it. We make it to the Final Four at least. Like I don't think anyone we were a good team.
It was a great team. I remember it. That's how good they were.
Go Cougs.
Have a count of that on
A Go Cougs counter.
Yeah.
See what I can do.
Okay, real fast, Ethan. Why should everyone watch Rings of Power?
Why should everyone watch? Let me tell you. Okay, so I don't know what show you're watching, but I can promise you that after episode 4, all the setup has happened. There's going to be like one major plot point and like the big storyline that's going to happen. Other than that, each episode is going to be the exact same little mini plot. And they're going to discover one thing. And part of that plot is they're discovering one thing that lends itself to the bigger plot. But it's just going to be the same thing over and over. The relationships, every episode, the characters are going to have a full character arc. But at the beginning of the next episode, they're not at the end of that same character arc. They went back to the beginning of it. They're going to have that same character arc. Yeah. So I don't know what show you're watching, but I can 70% guarantee that that's happening in your show. And Rings of Power, that's not happening, okay? Rings of Power is they actually have a plot that's happening, okay? So there's actually every episode meaningful things happen to add to the bigger plot rather than just having its own little mini plot every single episode. I think the lore of like Lord of the Rings is really cool. I think that's one of the things I really like about reading it is like as you're reading it, it's like you care about it more because you know like wow, this is something that happened for like this has been a fight that's been going on for generations, and you get to see that in Rings of Power. It's like cool origins for a lot of the characters that you know and love in Lord of the Rings or have heard of in Lord of the Rings. It's just a great story. Like I feel like watching TV right now is like I just want a really cheap story in 40 minutes. And if you're into that, that's great. But if you're a guy that likes to sit down and have a high quality story, like a book level storyline, but in a TV show, it's like watching a book is what it's like. And that's why I really like it because it takes time to develop characters, it takes time to develop the plot, and it gives you a lot of cool background on Lord of the Rings. 2
follow-up questions.
Yeah.
First one, what do you say to people who naysay on it because it doesn't follow the Silmarillion, the actual like what Tolkien wrote?
Are people hating on it for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing, is this isn't meant... Maybe I'm wrong here. This is going to be embarrassing if I'm wrong. But as far as I understand, it's not meant to completely mirror the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion is actually earlier. It's during the, like... So in the first, I think it's the first episode of Rings of Power, they talk about like the war against Morgoth. I mean, they talk about that throughout the thing. The Silmarillion is a story of what happens during the war against Morgoth. The Rings of Power is the coming about of the rings. So the Silmarillion is about the Silmarils. Yeah. And the Rings of Power is it's based on like all the like I think they even say it's based on like the appendices and the and like the backstory that's given in the Lord of the Rings books. So it's not about like this is like the Silmarillion. Again, I haven't read this. I just read like a summary. But the Silmarillion is about like the Silmarils and about like this fight against Morgoth, whereas like the Rings of Power is like the beginning of the fight against Sauron.
Gotcha.
So I think if that's your knock on the Rings of Power, then check yourself before you wreck yourself.
But what if like, because they reference like origins of characters, so what if like slight details
Are off? Like if
Yeah,
it doesn't
like
follow Lord of the Rings exactly?
Yeah.
Fine, that whatever. Like it seems kind of nitpicky. I don't know. I think maybe the details aren't perfect, but they also are extrapolating on a lot of things. So Lord of the Rings is mostly talking about like the end, like what you get like as you're reading through Lord of the Rings is your again, I'm reading them right now, so I'm very fresh and all stuff, but what you're getting in Lord of the Rings is you're getting like the end of the first war against Sauron, right? Like you're getting like when they cut the ring off his finger, when Isildur like loses the ring in the river, that kind of thing. And this is like all setting up for that. So like some of it's like mentioned in Lord of the Rings, but there's a lot of extrapolation going on, and so like I think it's going to be pretty hard to do that. So I think if you're like, oh, it doesn't match like exactly, like I think you're kind of a hater and you're just nitpicking a little bit and you're choosing to not like it rather than accepting it for the work of art that it is.
Okay.
No hate, by the way, all love.
What encouragement would you tell someone who starts it but then just finds the first several episodes slow and boring?
Yeah, I think that's
the first season is a lot of setup.
Well, the first season is setup, and that's actually I think what I like about it. Again, if you want like a fast-paced like storyline that's gonna like work everything out in 40 minutes, like you can go watch whatever show you're watching right now. What is great, like it is a little slow, but it's because it's setting up all these great events that are about to happen. Like you can't just like jump in to the orcs like attacking Aragion. Like you can't just jump right into that. You have to set it up. And so the other thing is one knock that I will accept on it. I wouldn't even say I accept it, but I would say it's a reasonable thing to harp on a little bit, is that there are a lot of storylines going on. So each episode, you might only get like 10 minutes of a storyline or something like that. And so it is slow moving for that reason, because there are a lot of things going on. But again, this is the origins of an entire world that Tolkien built. And so I think that, I think it does start off a little slow, but it's because it does such a great job storytelling. So I think if that's your knock on it, that's fine. But like focus on the story, focus on like the setup, like focus on how cool it is that we're getting this whole story to set up like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, rather than like this isn't fast paced enough for me. That's what I would say, is that your focus is probably in the wrong place.
That's fair.
That's my opinion.
It was good. I liked it. Very logical. A lot of good points.
Their music is so good.
Yeah, the music is great too. I think another thing you could focus on is like visually, it's very appealing. I'm not like a. I don't know how it is in Logan. I feel like in Provo there are lots of guys that are like, oh, I love cinema, and they got the Christian or not Christian Bale. Who's the
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. I always mix those guys up.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. He's a genius. Like no one could have even thought up Tenet or Inception. I mean, he's incredible. Or like, wow, in Oppenheimer, he wanted to use a real atomic bomb. This guy's a visionary. Like I feel like there are so many guys like that. I don't think those guys are actually like real cinema critics. I think they wish they were. So I'm not. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not gonna come out here and be like, yeah, like I love cinema. Like, I'm a big like cinema guy. But I will say that for me as a regular person, I think that I can still appreciate like when things are put together very well visually, and they do a really, really good job visually. Yeah. They have really like stunning shots of everything. That's so that's another thing I really like about it. And the music is great, as Sam mentioned. And
you gotta have good music. You don't have good music.
Apparently, so this is a throwback to December when Spotify Wrapped came out. Apparently, if I'm remembering right, maybe I have to fact check myself, but the composer for that was my like #1 artist last year.
Oh wow!
That's how good it is. Sam listens to it nonstop and nothing else.
But the weird thing is I only remember twice binge listening to it in that whole year. But apparently it was enough.
Did you binge listen to it for a week straight?
Yeah.
No, maybe not a week, but like maybe a day or two.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
I mean,
I saw that. I was like, I did not expect that.
It's good music though, and it's good storylines, and I feel like
this is just we're lacking is actual good stories.
Yeah, no,
And it's
I
like
think it's a great
fairly
story.
like, I mean, there's violence, but it's like fairly clean, like language and like content, and
Yeah.
like
If
there's
you're
no like
queasy around
suggestive
orc blood.
stuff or orcs in general.
Yeah, or orcs in general. Probably
Yeah.
don't watch
They're
it,
kind of
but
gross, but
it's not like it is about a war, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but I feel like they don't really go over the top. Like I feel like it's not super graphic. I feel
That's
like
good.
I feel like it's like at least teenager friendly, probably.
That's
yeah,
good.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't allow like if I had a 4-year-old, I probably wouldn't allow them to watch it.
No, but
But,
it's
like,
not.
Like it is, I think it's TV-14, and so I think
That's pretty good.
for
For that type of show, that's really good.
yeah. So I think like it's a good. I don't know. I think it's a good show. I think, like I said, I think the story is really really cool for Rings of Power. So
That's good.
What's your favorite movie watching treat?
my favorite popcorn, buttered popcorn. The more butter, the better.
That's fair.
That.
I think kettle corn might beat that. But buttered popcorn is pretty good.
Nah, butter popcorn is so much better than kettle corn.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing. If
try
I
it.
well, it depends on the popcorn. If I'm like bag popcorn, kettle corn. But homemade, maybe butter, because you actually have like actual butter melted.
What I'll say
Like the
is that
soggy
we come from a kettle corn family. Our dad makes really good kettle corn. And so I have to be careful about how I speak about kettle corn. Because I do love it. I really do love it. I think the best kettle corn in the world, I'm just more of a savory guy. I'm not really, I'm not
See, I
like,
think I'm a sweet guy.
especially during a movie, I don't really
Like I
watch
can
the
get
movie.
sweets other places and they'd be better sweets.
Here's the thing.
Popcorn is like the best like salty savory thing there is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more
Cinnamon
popcorn.
sugar on your popcorn? Mm.
If I have to, I would say second
not
place
kettle
is
corn,
maybe
but-
Cheez-Its. But that's just probably my favorite snack. Or flavor blasted extra cheddar goldfish.
Those are pretty good.
Pretty much anything that's orange and gets dust on your hands, I like.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh man. Okay. Final question.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have any highlights in your life recently?
Well,
Give us a good life highlight.
I did talk about getting married already. I will say that is the highlight, obviously. We already did talk about that a little bit, so I'll give a bonus one as well.
Okay.
But I do have to think for a second.
You good. We can throw it to Sam.
Yeah, Sam, life highlight.
Or update, whenever you want.
Well, as I predicted, unfortunately, I did not get the job I was interviewing for. That was kind of sad.
Rats.
Yeah, I was very
Very
excited
sad.
about that, but we're still on the job hunt. I've applied for, I think, like 4 jobs this past week. So they're kind of all over. We'll see. One was in Arizona, one's in Orem, one was in Arkansas. Actually, I applied for that one a while ago, but they just came back to me and wanted to
Finally
do an
got back to you.
interview. I know.
Jeez.
But then they still haven't. Here's the thing. They emailed me Wednesday, and they're like, hey, like, we just wanted to check to make sure you're, like, interested in moving to Arkansas, which is a valid point because it's Arkansas.
They probably do
No
need to
heat
ask
there.
people that.
But, like, I'm also, like, they asked, so it's with a company I did an internship for, so they asked my old manager, and he knows I think I'm from Idaho and Utah, so we were just probably just, like, double checking to make sure I knew it wasn't for the Utah position. And then they're like, if you're interested, like, give us your availability for, like, an interview. So I sent, like, the rest of this week, last week, and then, like, a couple days for next week. No response yet. And I'm like,
Jeez.
do you want me? Did you forget? So we'll have to follow up on that.
Yeah, follow-up would be good.
What else? That's honestly kind of it.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's spring break.
Woo! Get to do research all day! Yay!
Sam's going to the beach.
Yeah. That's fun.
Nah, I gotta get on my schoolwork. I
That's
gotta
fair.
get done by May. I did just start watching, well, it's 2 weeks in, but the new Survivor season.
Oh.
I'm watching with my older sister.
Oh, okay.
So we watch separately, and then we Marco Polo each other and be like,
Talk about it.
Oh, I
This is
forgot
who
about
we
Marco
hate.
Polo.
Yeah.
this is who annoys me so much, or why are they doing this?
Survivor's
They're
a
dumb.
crazy show.
So yeah, those are my highlights. Just trying to live life.
It's fair.
So Sam's highlights reminded me of a couple highlights. I am graduating soon. I was thinking of like past highlights, but I realized like I can say like what's about to happen. So, I graduate April 25th, I think, 24th maybe.
A week before me.
And then a week before
Did a
Sam.
bachelor's, and the time I did a bachelor before I even got done with my master's.
Did you do your bachelor's in 5 years?
4.5.
4.5, yeah. So I'll graduate in April. Then May 3rd, I get married. Then July 7th, I start a job.
You have a whole 2 months?
Well, okay, but listen to my May. Oh, actually, I want to get to one more highlight before we get into that. And then my other highlight is I started watching Downton Abbey recently.
Oh, God.
And
By yourself?
Just by myself. And
that's awesome.
I mean, I should have seen it coming. There's a lot more drama than I expected. Should have seen it coming. Didn't really think that one through. Here's what I love about it. I love the fancy outfits they wear.
That is fancy.
I love the fancy accents.
Fair.
And just general fancy demeanors. I love their house and the grounds. And yeah, I just watch it as like a cozy show, which makes it hard when it's like a really like dramatic episode. But like one of the episodes I watched recently, like someone died in their house and under scandalous circumstances. Whoa. And that one it's still pretty cozy because it's just like, oh no, someone died. But like that one was a little less cozy, but it's just like a nice cozy show.
Oh man.
Anyway, let's get back into marriage to starting my job. So yeah, I start my job July 7th, get married May 3rd. But let me tell you about my May. So May 3rd, I get married. Well, May 2nd, we have our wedding reception. Then May 3rd, I get married. And then the next week is my honeymoon. We're going to Leavenworth, Washington. It's like a Bavarian village.
Oh, like a Christmas type thing?
Kind of. It's like, yeah, so they have like it's like a German town or whatever. Lots of bratwursts, I imagine. Yeah. They have like a lake. I think we're going to have a spa day. So
nice.
I think I'm going to try to get a massage at some point. So I've never been to like a real masseuse or massage therapist. Fair. I don't know which one is like the correct term. But anyway, so there's that. Then the next week, we're going to Harry Potter World in Orlando, Florida. So let's go.
Coast to coast.
Yeah, Sam and I were born in Florida, so shout out Florida.
Whoa.
And then the next week we're going to Seattle because we're doing an open house in Seattle because that's where Julia's from, and then also we're going to one of our friends' weddings in Seattle. And then that's about all of May. and then we're coming back to Provo, and we're looking
have
for
a
housing.
month before you start work.
Yeah, so I have a month.
Nice.
So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do in that month. Do I A, chill, B, try to find a job for 1 month. Well, okay, what I could do is I could just get a month off of work at my current campus job and then I guess I'm graduated, so I don't know how that works, and then just work there for a month. Anyway, so I could do that. I could, those are pretty much the options, yeah, chill or work. I think I might just chill, because we'll also be moving into our new place, so...
That's a lot of work.
We don't really have...
And honestly, it's your last time where you have a significant time off before you start
without,
working.
being stressed about, oh no, I just got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just take it off.
Enjoy it. Do fun stuff.
Yeah, depending on what our savings looks like.
I mean, he is doing a wedding.
I'll probably end up just chilling for that month. So I would say the next few months are gonna be a blur and a highlight and stress. And so I'd say May won't be stressful because I'll just
be fun, dude.
Everything will be fun. We'll probably have housing by then. I'll have
Hopefully.
I'll be graduated. I just basically am waiting for my job to start.
Yeah.
And then all of June, they're probably going to be sending hey, do this before you start. Make sure you do this training or something before you start. Yeah. So that'll probably happen, but guess what? I'm not doing anything. So if I spend an hour a day on that, then I have 23 other hours.
So many more hours. That sounds so nice.
So maybe I'll just go to the gym a lot, get really jacked, just get huge. But Julia's gonna be doing school though, so she won't be chilling.
That's fair.
Just me. So, but I'm also like trying to revamp my closet a little bit so that I'm not wearing a baggy hoodie and Carhartt pants to work.
Have you heard of Stately?
What is Stately?
It's like a subscription service.
Oh,
where,
for
like,
clothes?
They send
Like a
you like
personal
outfits.
type of.
Oh, I
Yeah,
have
they
not
like
heard
do
that.
have like a. They say you have personal stylists. I don't know how personal.
That's
it
crazy.
is.
Okay, that's cool. Actually,
But like
Yeah.
you.
what's it called?
Stately. But
Sponsor us.
there's different companies that do that.
Yeah,
I've
that'd be
locked,
cool.
and it's kind of like, well, they have different prices of like, your first one box is like cheaper and then like more expensive. So I just haven't feel like I've had the finances to invest in that, but I kind of want to do that. I feel like that would give you enough variety of like even just once enough of like getting a new outfit, because I feel like that's what a lot I need in my outfits is just I need variety. I get tired of the same old stuff.
Well, and that's like going back to what we talked about earlier. Like I feel like I have a lot of clothes. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to be doing in June is I'm going to be reselling a lot of my clothes. Because I have a lot. I have a lot of clothes, like too many clothes. I had to buy a new clothing rack for all my coats. So I'm going to be working on reselling those, I think.
We'll help you.
But so part of what I'm doing is I'm trying to like get more like basics. Like I have it narrowed down to like 5 shoes that I'm going to have. So I'll have like, was it 5? I'll have like a pair of like athletic shoes. Okay, I forgot about my basketball shoes. I'll have my basketball shoes still.
Those are exclusive.
Well, yeah, but you have to have basketball shoes.
Those are
But I'll
their
have like
outfit.
athletic shoes. I'll have basketball shoes. I'll have like a casual pair of shoes, like Sambas or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to get a pair of loafers. And then I already have them, so I don't need to buy them. But like two pairs of like Doc Marten like Oxfords that I can wear.
Yeah.
So just have like some of those. So.
But the good thing about the like subscription boxes, you can tell them what kind of like if you want like professional or like casual, and
I'm trying to find like comfy professional clothes because I don't want to be like
golf pants.
I don't want to wear uncomfortable clothes all day. I
Yeah.
also don't want to look like a nerd, and
Yeah.
so
That's
nothing wrong with
fair.
nerds, but I don't want to look like one. And so anyway, I'm trying to. Okay, this is maybe another highlight. I recently discovered Pinterest. And Downton Abbey in the same month.
Oh my gosh, this man is obviously getting married.
No, okay, here's the thing though. People aren't telling guys about Pinterest.
Yeah, I've been on Pinterest for like years.
Well, that's not that surprising.
I just got on for a class. I had to do it for.
But no
a
one,
class in
like
college.
I've been on Pinterest, like when you Google stuff and like stuff from Pinterest pops up,
yeah.
like I've looked for that, but I didn't really know about Pinterest. Pinterest is so awesome. And so apparently I recently learned that you can also follow people, or like people can follow you on Pinterest. I actually didn't know that until recently. I just use it. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to revamp my closet. Let's like get some inspo, or like obviously for like the wedding, you know. Or so anytime you just need inspiration for something, like you're like, I'm trying to make this change in my life, like let's get some inspo. Boom, Pinterest. No one's telling guys about Pinterest. It's a great productivity tool.
That's awesome.
Or Downton Abbey. Watch Downton.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Sam. What's your whole life highlight? Week highlight.
The ski night's over.
Woo!
I officially don't have any type of responsibility for the next like month, so that's very exciting.
To the next activity.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's the ski night activity?
It was for our steak.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm over at steak activities, so yeah. I just started dating someone, so that's fun.
Woo!
That's a good highlight.
That's a great highlight.
How long have you guys been dating?
2 weeks, I think.
Okay,
officially.
so very fresh.
Very, very fresh.
All right.
Very new. Yeah. But with that, we're planning a trip, I think, to do Tetons, Yellowstone, Glacier.
Oh.
I think we might even go all the way up to, like, Banff and
Oh my
Jasper.
gosh, how long is this trip gonna be?
Like a week.
Oh,
maybe.
so you're gonna be moving.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great trip.
I'm very excited about it. We'll see what happens, though. But yeah, those are my highlights.
Those are pretty good highlights.
I'm very excited about them.
Wow, we're going through big things this year.
Yeah. It's a good year. 2025. Good
It's a
times.
year of good.
Who would have known in January 1st?
Not me.
Alright, what was going on January 1st?
don't know. I feel like our first episode of the new year was we were
Very.
like, what do we have to look forward to?
negative.
We're like,
Like, I'm graduating. Yay.
yeah.
Everything is sad.
Yeah,
Pretty much. It'll be the end of the year. We'll have to go back
It'll
and
be a
listen
really
to that
fun
and
review.
do a react
Yeah.
episode on that one. And
That would be
like,
really funny, actually. Dang. Cool. Well, thanks, Ethan, for being on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Super great to get to know you, learn about your upcoming fun times.
Yes, lots of fun times upcoming.
Yeah. We'd like to thank all our listeners for listening. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Go ahead, like, comment, do all the fun things.
share this with your friends who
5-star rating.
Yep.
Yes. Do
Forgot
all the
we did
things
that.
to get us more out there.
Yeah.
We're trying to get really popular.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'm not really a part of it.
They're trying to
Just
get very
helping it
popular.
out.
This is my backup source of income. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
If I don't get a
Sam's
job-
really coming close to the end of this school.
Yeah, Sam's struggling with a job search, so please help him out and listen to this podcast. Share it with your
Please
friends.
Send this out.
Give it a good rating.
If you want to sponsor us, please let us know.
Yeah, any of the people we named, or if you just have any company at all,
Yeah,
any
any at
organization
all.
can.
Local, big, whatever. We'll take all
We'll
of
take
it.
like a Lions Club, like
Yeah.
the senior citizens. like,
VFW type of thing.
yeah, we'll take anybody.
Anything. But yeah, that's all we got for this week.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Ooh.